Minecraft is an incredible game, but let's be honest, it doesn't matter how incredible something is, if you do something long enough, it's easy to get burned out. So as someone who spends basically every free second of my life playing Minecraft, I have to get a little creative. Last episode, I did it by building what I wanted to build, even if it didn't fit seamlessly with what I was working on at the time. A fancy bathhouse doesn't necessarily mesh with a military base, but I wanted to build a bathhouse, so I made it happen. And honestly, the lore finagling that had to be done to make it work was a big part of the fun. This episode though, I'm gonna do something a little different. Rather than a specific build, I'm gonna give myself a challenge. See, I feel like I've come a long way as a builder in my time playing, but sometimes confidence builds complacency, and I had a thought yesterday. What if I was transported back in time to the early days of Minecraft? Back when there was no elytra or beacons, and even something as iconic as the Happy Ghast was still a distant dream. Back when something like sandstone slabs were among the more exotic blocks that you could build with. How would I, coming from a Minecraft with comparatively endless options, cope with such a restrictive palette? And well, the truth is I don't really know. But the thought gave me something better than inspiration. It gave me motivation. So today I'm going to choose 2 blocks, and I'm going to make a massive build using just those 2 blocks. And hopefully while I'm at it, I'll learn something that will help me grow as a builder even when I have more blocks at my disposal. But in order to get started, I've got some more digging to do. Well, that was a lot of digging, and unfortunately, I get the feeling we're gonna have to do a lot more digging with this project before we're done, but not right now because I want to get right into building. Or maybe not quite right into building because I still need to do some resource gathering, and in order to do that, I think I'm gonna have to get a whole bunch more shulker boxes. So I'm just gonna grab a few of those, grab some chests. Wow, this is really starting to look cool from up above. And actually, before I get all of the resource gathering done, I think I probably better explain to you the blocks that I decided to use. Now, like I said, I'm only going to be using 2 blocks for this entire build, and the first one is going to be sandstone. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get a lot of sandstone. And then aside from the sandstone, the other block that I'm going to use, and this one's gonna be more of a highlight, is I'm gonna use nether bricks. And fortunately, we have a combination gold farm piglin bartering system that I really hope should just barely fill our needs, but yeah, it's gonna be a little close. And I should have mentioned that I decided to go with smooth sandstone rather than regular sandstone, so I'm going to need to smelt several shulker boxes worth of that smooth sandstone, and to do that I'm going to need the biggest super smelter on the server. So let me just head over to Trozo's base and set this bad boy up. You heard me right, this thing is not just massive, but it's also portable and easy to set up anywhere you desire. Just place down the furnaces like so, mine a block or 2 of coal ore, and do this. That's right guys, it's me. I'm the super smelter. And now that we've got a big area cleared out and hopefully all the resources that we should be needing, I'm gonna spend just a little bit building up the area around what we're going to build today. Now, just in case you're new to the channel, this entire big area right here is all going to be an interior harbor, and this plaza that we just made in the center, well, this is going to be the hub of it all. At the moment, I'm just calling it a plaza, but eventually we're going to have stalls for marketplaces all around here. And once this is all filled up with water and we've got our water entrances here and there inside of the walls, we're eventually going to have like some unloading and loading stations probably really close to either side. So I mean, I'm gonna have to dig all of this out again, but that's all for a different episode. For now, I want to get started on our project for today, and if I go into free camp, you might even be able to get a little bit of an idea of what it is I'm building. But rather than tell you, I'm just gonna get started on the outline. Wow, I so rarely build like this. It's kind of weird to see the outline, but hopefully by the outline you can tell that what I'm going to build here is a gateway. Like I already mentioned, we're going to have this plaza here, but then we're going to have to connect it to the rest of the city. And while we might have some roads going off through the sides, I want this central one to be big. Like you can already see that I have the gateway centered on the tower and the bridge and the military district. Like everything is going straight through this line. We've got the path, we've got the bridge, and it goes straight into the tower. And this is sort of going to be the very end of it, because after we go through the gateway here, I'm imagining this road is going to curve up and come over here, and then it's going to end up somewhere in this area right here where we're going to have this big entrance to the city. But there's really not all that much to say about the outline aside from, oh yeah, I totally got that off center. I'll take care of that. But I want it to be a sort of arch. So we've got the two big pillars right here, and it all comes together, and then we'll have this big central area at the top. And that's really the shape. I mean, we're gonna put a whole bunch of smaller shapes inside of it eventually, but for now, I think I just want to fill it in. Okay, I take back what I said. It looks so much worse filled in. At least when it was just an outline, you could probably imagine that there were going to be details, but now it just looks like a big Minecraft character statue. Yeah, definitely not a fan. And for now, I've just left the back as is. I'm not going to be doing too much of the back, and it's not because it's not going to be seen. It is going to be seen. It's just I'm going to have houses like all along this road here. So like all of this right here is going to be completely covered. So there's just no point in doing it right now. The part up above might be, this is how it goes. The part up above is probably going to be visible, especially up there at the top, but I'll figure that out once I get all the rest of the buildings in behind it, just so I know exactly what I need to do. But for the front, I think what I'm gonna do for the video is I'm going to just slowly go in and add details, and I'm just gonna talk you through it as I'm doing it. I think that'll make things more engaging than me building and then talking and then building and then talking and then building and talking and building. And actually, before I get too far into detailing, I should probably mention that I am allowing myself to use the variants of each of these blocks. So stuff like nether walls and smooth sandstone stairs or nether stairs, these are all on the table. I think the only potentially controversial thing is that I am probably going to be using some sandstone walls, which, granted, they're not exactly smooth sandstone, but I don't know. My challenge, my rules. And what better way to start than by adding decorative pillars to the structural pillars of the arch, and you can already see some of the adaptations that I've had to make. In a typical build, I would probably use some cherry wood with the nether brick because the slight color variation that we call texturing is a huge part of modern building, but unfortunately I can't do that in this challenge. So instead I came up with what I think is actually a pretty creative solution, and that's using walls. I don't want to change the shape of the pillars too much, so I'm still using full blocks back behind, but the walls give the pillar a subtle texture that helps a little bit to replace the texturing that I would normally do. And now with the pillars in, I want to start making the shape just a little bit less blocky, so I'm adding a slight transition area between the pillars and the upper portion of the arch, and you can already start to see some of the design style that I'm going with for the rest of this build. This build is architecturally very heavily inspired by the Roman triumphant arches all over the world, but the design is hopefully going to have more of an ancient Egyptian feel, which is why I went for a lot of the detail that looks almost like hieroglyphs. You can see the upper portion of the pillars have what I hope looks something like a butterfly or moth with the body and wings. It's sort of a callback to the butterfly that we built earlier this season. Meanwhile, the central portion has almost an eye shape to it. The details for the areas in between the pillars are a fair bit different from the upper portions, which is a bit of a reference to how most triumphant arches will have writing at the top saying what it commemorates. And while you can't actually read the writing on this one, I want it to feel like there is something there to read. So instead of more writing, I wanted the details to have some verticality to go along with the pillars, as well as some depth to them, and I'm absolutely in love with the result. And finally, the build looked way too blocky at the top, so I just added a little bit of a cap at the top, complete with some more of those hieroglyphic looking writing details. Now this is starting to look really cool. And actually, I feel like the shaders just don't really do it justice. I'm gonna take these shaders off. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I don't usually use shaders. It's just, we've got a little bit of a problem on the server where really distant textures are looking like super grainy, and it makes things look really bad from a distance. It's honestly killing me to use shaders in this video, but I just don't have any other options. But one thing that the shader does that I don't really like is it just makes everything brighter, and so you can really see the shadows that we have on this build if I take the shaders off. It's such a small thing, but I feel like the nether brick pillars up front look so much brighter, and you can really see the red color, whereas all of the inset stuff looks almost black, and it gives us sort of an illusion that there's more color here than there actually is. But I'll be honest, I've been having a little bit more trouble with this challenge than I expected I would. And it's not really because it's hard to make it look good. I think we're doing a great job of that. It's more the little details, like this right here, I just really want to break it up with some regular sandstone. These pillars, I'd love to add some cherry wood into there. Some bone blocks or birch wood up top just to show a little bit of reflection from the sun with the lighter colors. And let me just go into free cam real fast, but I really want to add birch fences onto the bottom of all of these. I just think it'd make it look better. But I'm not going to do it. We're going to stick to the challenge. Now, I do have something sort of planned for the sides, but before I get to that, I'm going to come over here so we can get a good view of the front, because I think there's still a lot of detailing that I need to get in here. I mean, it is looking really good at this point, but there are a few spots, like especially right inside the arch here, it looks a little bit plain. Maybe on the outside we can add something. And then I think the most extreme part is we've really got to get something done on the inside of the arch. Like, the shape of it up above looks really good. I'm actually really happy with how that turned out, but I'm thinking we can get maybe some more pillars in here and just generally a little bit of something to break up all this flat, smooth sandstone. You know, I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I think we nailed it. There's a fine line that always has to be tread when we're building between too detailed and not detailed enough, and I really think we nailed it. Too much more and I think it just looked too busy, but the way it is, wow, I'm really happy with this. And even more so than I might usually be, because with only 2 blocks to build with, we just don't have the same options that we usually have. With such a limited block palette, we really only had 2 knobs to turn: shape and shadow. And overall, I'm just so happy with how it turned out. And aside from the details, I actually have one more little surprise, and that is that I actually did the back. Not these pillars down below, because like I said, the street is going to come up through here, and we're going to have buildings on both sides, so there's just no point in doing this. But the top is looking great. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't even really plan on doing that this episode, but last night I couldn't sleep, and so rather than sleep, I just woke up and I worked on building. Which means all that's left to do are the sides, and the sides really shouldn't be too difficult, because again, like the back, we don't really need to do these lower portions because those will mostly be covered up. So I think what we need to do is we just need to get another sort of iteration of what we have on this portion and just add it here onto the side, and I don't think that will be too difficult. So I'll do that in just a little bit, but before I do that, oh, hey, Sammy. There is something that I have been putting off for a very long time, and, well, it's our villager problem. Gotta stay away from these guys. But I just don't know how this happened. People who have been around for a while will know that this actually already happened. See, look at that. We've got a lightning rod right there. I don't know what happened. But this actually already happened. So we have 3 villagers inside of here. Well, I say villagers, but they're witches, and there's no going back. Still need to think of something to do with these guys, but for now, I think we gotta add these 3 to our little collection. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm really sad about these ones. This group of farmers right here, as well as the ones over there, are kind of my go-to experienced people, and, well, that's just not an option anymore. So I've had to come up here, and I've been using the farmers up here. Yeah, we've got farmers all over up on this side. We've got, what are these guys called again? Clerics. We've got clerics, we've got masons, we've got librarians. So it's not really a big deal. But, I mean, also, I can't really just have witches sitting in there because it's really hard to access my mending villager at the moment. So let's get these guys moved. all things considered, that wasn't as painful as it could have been. But wow, I felt really stupid dying there. I guess I'm so used to just coming all the way up here to the top, grabbing whatever I need out of the storage system, and then just jumping off and either relying on my wings to save me, or barring that, feather falling does the trick too. But none of that works if you take off all your gear. Funny how that works. But aside from me being stupid, I've also got some really good news. I finished the build. And while I didn't really do anything innovative on this side, this one's just got another eye design that I thought was kind of cool. I still think it'll be useful to have something to keep an eye on Trozo, who is cooking something up over there. I don't know what exactly, but it's looking crazy. And since the lower portion is going to be covered up, and same thing with the back, I really think that this is honestly pretty much done. Definitely got to do some lighting things up because there are a lot of little buddies out here. But I feel entirely content with what we've done today. I'm not gonna lie, this challenge has honestly been really difficult. I mean, even now, it's really hard to fight the urge to just come up here and get rid of all those top blocks and maybe replace some of them with sandstone. We could get a little shading under here to add some artificial shadow. All sorts of block variation would make this so much better. I could get significantly more intricate with the details if I used like birch fences. I mean, seriously, the list of things that I feel like I should be doing to this build that I'm not doing is super long, but you know what? I'm not gonna do any of them. Even after this episode and even after this challenge is all done, and actually, maybe I should do something under there. Let's see, let's do something like this, maybe? Nope, I don't like that. Let's do some slabs here in front. Maybe some full blocks. Does that look good? No, that doesn't look good. Maybe we get rid of those and go with more slabs. Or maybe we actually do slabs on the outside and we replace these with stairs. Does that look good? I mean, it certainly looks better. I'm not sure that I love it. No, you know what? I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Nope. I'm just going to leave it like that. Guys, I have a really bad problem with perfectionism where I just have to get every single detail exactly perfect. And today I'm overcoming it. We're just gonna leave it like that. I mean, at the very least, it looks better than it did before. But like I was saying, we are going to leave this exactly like this. I'm not going to go back and change this after the challenge is done. It's just gonna be like this forever. And that's just something that's really exciting to me. I can't wait to see what the rest of this marketplace turns into. I mean, I've got a bit of an image in my head as to what it will evolve into, but I haven't really started designing anything, so your guess is as good as mine as to how it'll actually look in the end. Actually, if I'm being honest, maybe this middle portion looks just a little bit too blocky, but I feel entirely content with what we've done today. So let me just remove these, and then I can put some stairs here. And then a row of slabs up here at the top, get rid of that. And then another couple of slabs over there. How does this look? Guys, I have a really bad problem with perfectionism, and today I'm overcoming it. Well, that was a lie. You know, honestly, I do think it looks better. Oh, see, this is what I mean about how I can never finish builds. Every single time I look at this thing, I see something else that needs to be changed or just could be done better or that I should just take a little bit more time on. But you know what? No, that's the last thing. I'm calling it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this episode. I really hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. And if any of you guys want to give this challenge a try yourself, I would love to see what you come up with. So feel free to join my Discord and you can share your builds with me there. But once again, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next episode. What you doing?
Oh, you know, oh my gosh.
Yo,
I love
you
the
okay?
build, by the way.
Oh,
yep,
thank
I'm great.
you. Actually, I'm almost done with it.
Oh, perfect. I love to see that. So, you know how we're almost done with the Goat Gang versus Salmon Bro war, right?
Not really. I still don't know why the war is happening, but sure.
Oh wait, hold on. I forgot. Barbell.
What?
Where are you?
I'm right here. Oh, nice skin.
Snap
by the way.
into it.
That's
snap into it.
Wait, your skin looks really cool though.
Snap into it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for noticing.
My pleasure.
I got little red eyes. Something that you should have too. Knock knock.
What do you do, Trozo? Stop. All right, well, Trozo, I'm really sorry, but I don't feel like I'm the person for you. You might want to go and talk to Kat or somebody see what they have to say, because I just don't know that I want to get involved.
Purple. Listen. You want to do this? I don't have a lever.
Let me go get a lever real fast. All right. Here's a lever.
Purple. Oh, thank you so much.
My
Purple,
pleasure.
I need the other guy. I ain't gonna do it. I will do it if I have to. Purple, I need the other guy.
You do?
Purple. I need the other guy.
Well, okay.
I
think that's a little bit extreme.
It's extreme.
Trozo.
It's extreme circumstances. I need the other guy. Wake up. Holy crap. Hold up. Okay. Purple. Seriously. I need your help. There you are. Just the man I was looking for.
All right. Make it quick. What do you need?
Listen. I have the sneaking suspicion that the court case might not go our way just because I'm a little bit psycho and I may have done some messed up crap.
You know what? I'm not entirely sure that you've gone quite far enough. And now for those of you who made it to the very end of the video, here's a bonus clip of Trozo unintentionally acting like a shulker.